What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below right now so you don't miss out on new videos. Also, thanks for hitting the like button and happy Father's Day to each and every one of you guys. And let me know if you're doing anything special here for Father's Day. Yeah, so hoping you're just kicking back, maybe having a brew. Yeah, and yeah, we're just enjoying the weekend here with my son, who's 4 years old. I feel like I'm getting gray just trying to keep up with him. Yeah, he's too fast, too much energy. He hasn't napped since he was been like 2. He's just the kid can stay up till midnight, like on command. He's just he's just never ending. He reminds me of me as a kid, but yeah. So let me know what you're doing here for Father's Day weekend. Yeah. Speaking of kids, the U.S. Supreme Court has erected barricades to the public as the abortion ruling nears close. Yeah, as people are already outside right now holding signs, as you can see here. Well, this is actually the Iowa Supreme Court, but this is the type of signs that they're holding up here at the federal Supreme Court as well. Some people saying stop abortion now, some people saying keep abortion legal. My body, my choice, women's choices. Eh, it's a tough it's tough because there's so many people with different points of view here. I'll go back here real quick because the U.S. Supreme Court is erecting barricades, thinking that there might be another massive incident there, or but here, check this out. Yeah, they have installed an 8-foot tall fence that was erected in the last few days after the leak at the court ramped up security measures. While the rest of the official Washington, including the other government buildings, including the White House and the Capitol, have reopened their doors to the public as partially of the pandemic ebbs. Well, I guess it depends on if you look at the actual virus cases. Top U.S. judicial body remains in a form of lockdown with what appears to be siege mentality, even as it wields huge influence over public policy. Get this, for Guido Reichsladster, an abortion rights protester camped out in front of the courthouse since the beginning of June. Wow. The fencing is a sign of how out of touch the justices are, or at least the 6 conservative ones, aka Republican ones, are with public sentiment. Remember that out of the 9 justices, there are now 6 out of the 9 are Republican justices. He says, quote, they are trying to insulate themselves from the effects of their actions. Why else would you put a fence up? They said. They were arrested on June 6 for locking himself to the fence by the neck and spent a night in jail. Wow. Quote, to me, it sends a message that they are weak, they are afraid, they are isolated. He said of the fence, emotions have run high, said political news organization published a draft since the abortion decision authored by conservative Justice Samuel Alito on May 2nd. Since then, protesters have rallied outside the homes of some of the conservative justices. A California man named Nicholas Rosk, carrying a handgun, ammunition, a crowbar, pepper spray, was charged with attempted murder after being arrested on June 8th near Justice Brett Kavanaugh's Maryland residence. Congress on Tuesday did pass legislation to bolster security for the 9 justices, though lawmakers did not include protection for their families of the clerks and other Supreme Court employees due to Republican opposition. And remember that the, the Supreme Court is mostly Republican right now, which is interesting. After the leak, conservative Justice Clarence Thomas, known for his criticism of the Roe ruling, said on May 6th that, quote, the court should not be bullied into giving you just the outcomes you want. According to recent polls by, this is published by NPR, National Public Radio here, 2/3 of the American public say they don't want the Roe versus Wade ruling, or which basically has led to federal law, which makes it legal. They do not want it overturned. And remember that 2/3 is generally considered a supermajority. Anytime you see that or above, remember that's also what it takes to impeach a president in the Senate or override a presidential veto. So it's whenever you see 2/3 or above, it's considered a supermajority. So yeah, that's whenever you see that, it's considered a lot basically. Now in Iowa, we're seeing some states already ruling separately, even though the Roe versus Wade decision hasn't been changed. Um, Iowa Supreme Court rules against abortion protections. The Iowa Supreme Court issued a ruling Friday that abortion is not protected in the state constitution, overturning a ruling from 4 years ago as federal abortion rights appear highly endangered. The ruling reverses a lower court move that blocked a law establishing a 24-hour waiting period before a person could get an abortion. The decision comes as the U.S. Supreme Court is poised to overturn its ruling in Roe versus Wade. Iowa had previously been one of the states whose highest courts had ruled their state constitutions protected abortion rights. You're seeing a lot of this. If the Supreme Court overturns Roe, 26 states, mostly Republican majority states, are likely to ban abortion, according to the Guttmacher Institute, an abortion rights advocacy group. Now, whether that happens or not, we'll have to see here. Now, we're also seeing this kind of happen. This is why there's a lot of things going on here with our constitutional rights in America. We're seeing this with gun rights as well. We've had the mass shootings really come to light here. Remember, those happen pretty much on a daily basis here in the U.S. You don't hear about them every day, but we have had. I'll show you here. Yeah, I mean, like this just happened. Here's a New York Times. This happened at an Alabama church at a potluck dinner. Like this happens all the time. People don't realize this. They say, "Oh, why is this happening all of a sudden?" This actually happens like every day. People just don't realize it, right? They only hear about the massive ones that like make the mainstream media, right? But as of June 8th here, there had been more than 250 mass shootings so far in 2022. So, I mean, there's well more than mass shootings, more than days in the year. So this is kind of where you have this, you have the abortions issue, and everybody. There's a lot of things here with people like on both sides of the fence, different sides of the fence here, and these things are going to be decided here in 2022, and whether they're reformed a lot, a little bit. Um, this might be the year when you look back and say, "Oh yeah, that 2022, that was the year that things changed for those." And it looks like it's going to happen for Roe versus Wade. For gun rights, we're currently on the path. The Senate has this bipartisan deal where some Republicans in the Senate have come to an agreement. But honestly, it doesn't really look that game changing for me. They've expanded some background checks for 18 to 21 years old, and you know added the waiting period there, or the age limit there for, added it from 18 to 21 years old. There's really not, it doesn't really seem that groundbreaking where it's that a lot of change there. I mean, even Senator Joe Manchin, who's he considered himself an avid shooter. He said this isn't going to take really not anybody who considers himself an avid shooter isn't going to lose any rights at all. So personally, I think it's kind of it's a step in the right direction. I think if you would have went any more aggressive, because again, I'm just a realist here. I think if you would have went any more aggressive, I don't think you would have been able to get enough any votes from Republicans. I basically think that they tried to pass a bill in the House, and yeah, it passed, but like there was only like a few Republicans that voted for it. It was only like five or 10 Republicans that voted for it, which wouldn't have. And remember, there's like 200 and some Republicans in the House. So the problem is you can't have the Democrats craft a bill and then just say, all right, we're going to vote on it. You have to do it the way they did on gun rights, at least, because Republicans and Democrats have very different views on it. Just like with abortion rights, it's weird how these human issues are so different when it comes to Democrats and Republicans. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. How does this become a political issue? It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't get it, because you could put me on a debate team and I could argue either point. I could see either point. Um, and honestly, I see good points on both sides of them. The Roe versus Wade. I see the whole baby rights thing. I see that, and I see the whole women's rights thing. And I don't think the government should be anyone to tell a woman what to do. I don't think the government should be somebody to tell them that they are forced to have a baby. That's really, really strange to say. Imagine the government telling you you're forced to have a baby. Like, imagine if a woman got raped, and the government's going to say, nope, we're forcing you to have that baby. There's just like so many odd scenarios. Like, imagine if the woman's life is at risk. Like, my wife almost died giving birth. She had preeclampsia, and I mean, obviously she made it through and stuff like that. Everything worked out. But think about how many women like actually die during birth. Like, uh, there's just a lot of like. My wife also had a miscarriage beforehand. Obviously in a previous one, but giving birth is very dangerous, and very expensive too. Like, think about how many people don't have insurance. So now the government's gonna like force people to have a baby and then not pay for it. What about all the people that don't have insurance? And then think about that the child tax credits aren't even there. The child tax credits aren't even passed. So like the government's gonna force all these women to go have babies, not give them their own choice, and then the child tax credits aren't even there. So like then they're gonna have a kid, and then they're gonna potentially not even have health care. So they're gonna be stuck with a bill for tens of thousands of dollars, or many thousands of dollars at least. And then when they give birth, they're not even going to get any help. The child tax credits aren't even passed. I know you can't make this stuff up. The government wants to force you, and really, it's not even the government. It's 9 Supreme Court justices, which I mean, they're kind of they're the government, but like it's like not even like elected officials, because like the Supreme Court justices, one could really argue if they're even elected, because they're appointed by a president it's a really it's a really iffy iffy situation there. You know, yeah, and you got to think that the choice of millions and millions and millions of women are in the hands of 9 people in the Supreme Court, mostly men. How could you make it? How could you make that decision for somebody else? It's just like I couldn't make that decision for some woman in Idaho. I don't know her, or another lady in California or Wyoming. How can I make the decision for her? I don't know. I don't know her. Like, how could I? That'd be like me making a decision for, Carol in Wisconsin. How could I possibly make that decision for her? That's like the most absurd thing I've ever. Like, how could I even make a decision for anybody in any other state on anything? It's crazy talk. Alas, it's probably going to get overturned, and then we're going to see what happens. There's literally already people outside protesting, and it kind of makes you also wonder, like, we already had an incident at the Capitol this year. And now there's already people camped outside. We got to hope that another incident doesn't happen. Yeah, it's just 2022 is just really shaped up as a it's really kind of fallen right in line with 2020, 2021, and 2022. They're all just kind of it just is, they're just falling right in a low, right in a row. It's like a row of dominoes. They're all just falling perfectly in line, right? Yeah, yeah. It's just hey, at least we have a little bit of I don't know, good humor to go along with it, right? So let me know your what you're doing here for Father's Day, if you're having a good weekend. So yeah, so God bless you. I hope you have a good weekend here. So I'll have Julian's. He's running around here somewhere. I'll have him on here in the next couple episodes here for you guys. But happy Father's Day. You guys are amazing, and I'll keep you updated here. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day. Normally at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We did a few less videos here for the Father's Day weekend, but I will keep you up to date here. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And here is my newest video on stimulus checks going out here in multiple different states, and hopefully more here soon. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.